Bola Ahmed Tinubu understands very, very well what it means to mount pressure on Alex Otti to switch over to APC, because that is what is actually going on the ground, and that is why you are seeing, the factions of Labour Party, trying to cause a kind of chaos within the party and not to recognize this, that, you understand? And of course, if this thing continues to gather momentum, after some time, Bola Ahmed Tinubu can actually cue in. But it will bring another signal to what is happening, considering the fact that, at that stage you are seeing is symbolic. One, that's where the first military head of state came from. Talking about Johnson Aguiyi-Ironsi, and of course, we are also seeing where was the major military base of Biafra during the war. Talking about Abia State. We are also seeing, some significant, historic moment that's associated with that state. More especially recently is that state has also produced one of the African greatest, separatist self-determination leader, the IPOB leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself, and you can see after much struggle that Abia State has not been blessed with leadership. It became worse under Ibazo. It became a rotten state under Ojuzo Kalu, Fulani imposed, Fulani trending now as a Fulani man. Ojuzo Kalu, I don't want to use this word because if lost respect of sanity and civility when you talk about what will happen in other states. How much are they paying? Have you two made money to be able to stand for your people? Must you be loyal to people who has brought killing and calamity to the people of the eastern region? Let me explain this very clearly. APC, ABGA, PDP, they all have structures in Abia State. But the people look at who Peter Obi is, and decided to... this man you are seeing, Alex Otti, has been in several political parties. But immediately he moved to Labour Party, he became relevant. What does that tell you? It that means he wrote on integrity
of Peter Obi
to become governor, because Peter Obi has never aligned for now anything that has to do with Islam, Fulani imposed. When they wanted to rubbish him in PDP, he moved out and joined Labour Party. Millions of Nigerians, Yorubas, Hausas, name them, all of them followed Peter Obi to that moment, and they was able to give him a resounding popularity and victory 2023. And that is what Peter Obi is riding on. So if you are seeing this kind of pressure, it means they have taken order the maze of eastern states. You can see what is happening in Enugu, but it's not even safe. We don't even know where Mwiru is, because he never. It was not part of the entourage that welcomed Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Anambra State.
And he's supposed to be there, being a member of APC.
Yes, maybe he's somewhere in Sokoto, kneeling down for the Sultan of Sokoto. To be able to know what they are going, their next kind of plan, So that's why he saw what the role these guys then play. Also, Pozadima and the likes of, look at Soludo now. The same thing.
The whole solution.
Doing in short, his own has become the worst. So all these guys now are mounting pressure, trying to make sure that they have a Fulani colleague as governor in Abia State.
Let's look at it in this way. Some people are accusing Peter Obi of not done, enough to resolve Labour Party issue between Abure and the other rivalry. What do you think is happening? Do you think there is anything Obi can do to resolve that crisis?
Let me tell you, I think this is an infiltration force. What is happening in Labour Party is an infiltration force, and it's from the ruling party. No matter how they're going to deny it, it is real. And they are using all the instruments of the ruling party, of the incumbent, to make sure that nobody checkmate what is going to happen 2027 at the end of the day. And the only way you can do that, is to find a way, and to empower oppositions in that party and make them relevant so that they continue to have. Look at what is happening in PDP. It's the same to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's the same game Bola Ahmed Tinubu is playing. And APC seems to have mastered that trend. Because if you look at how they were able to remove Jonathan, You look at the role they played using Rotimi and Mechi, Jang, and some of them, you can see what happened at Rebeshola and all of them. As at that time, they were able to destroy the Governors Forum, which was a block umbrella of the People's Democratic Party as at that time. After destroying, the Governors Forum broke into two, and we see the likes of Rotimi and Mechi them, ready to take up arms against PDP. Do whatever, bring in bandits, Boko Haram, anything, bring it, make sure that
this government must come down.
That is how we got to where we are. Go to the past and check out the statement coming from the likes of Erofai, Kwankwaso, them and all that. Even Atiku himself. So that time.
With this situation we find ourselves now, when there is no viable opposition party in this country, what do you think 2027 is going to look like? Because it's like people that we thought they are going to be killed behind, even if they choose to be, they are now making alliance with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. How do you think? Okay, somebody like Otti now. Otti, we were told this was a friend to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So in 2027, this is Tinubu, this is Obi. With what is going on now, do you think Otti will be, 100% loyal to Obi?
Tinubu is already attacking Otti psychologically using proxies of his government. We saw what happened recently where the Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu was in Abia State. We saw the kind of statement coming from also Kalu, who is the chairman of Southeast Development Commission, with over 250 billion to prosecute election in the Southeast. And the money they said is for development of the Southeast.
Development of Southeast.
You understand?
But what have they developed now?
So what are they going to develop apart from how to play the kind of politics they play everywhere, which is they called it dirty. But I don't think anywhere in the world where politics is dirty. It's not even in the dictionary. They are the ones that manufacture this so that they're able to loot and create an atmosphere of chaos so that they can be able to siphon that money at the end of the day. That is the truth, whether they like it or not. But the fact still remains is that the Abia, the Afaruku people themselves, the Bende people, the Sukwato, the Ungwa men, of course, Alex Otti is a balanced identity in Abia State. And I can tell you, he has what it takes to challenge whatever is going to come at the end of the day. And I believe with what we are seeing, he's going to retain his position. But that does not mean Bola Ahmed Tinubu should be targeting the entire southern part of the country to fall under APC. Governors should fall under, because once it is being done and it is being understood that he is using south as a base to launch attack on the north, then the north will not want to see such thing threaten them. They must resort to seek alliance with the east, with Peter Obi, and that's the fear. And that is why, seeing that Obi is the target, they just want to play the same thing that happened to Buhari. After Buhari had generated up to 6-7 million votes or thereabout, and they know the only thing is just the coalition, the merger from Southwest, the coalition is just the merger, to join the East, Jonathan will be defeated at the end of the day. And that's what happened. And Obi has attained that height of hitting this big, in terms of electors' endorsement. Of his integrity and his person, as candidate, as presidential candidate. So Tinubu is already playing a certain card, which the North is saying as a threat compared with the defection. Forget the paparazzi. The PDP is coming out to say all is well. Mubara said Wabara is saying all is well, nothing is happening, and Wike is saying don't bring a northern as this and that.
That is PRO.
They are just saying all those things, but the North might be thinking differently. Because they would not want to repeat that mistake if actually they are not going to back Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But we can still see some major defections from the north to APC, but at least for now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu should understand that this is democracy, and Abia State is the state that was honored or was given in honor of the first military head of state in Nigeria. And coming with this kind of, the dark politics in Abia State will result to completely, causing insecurity and destabilizing, of course, the entire Southeast, and allowing Fulani to have a field day in terms of grazing, in terms of banning, in terms of kidnapping, total, insecurity in there. And I think the Abia people are watching, and there might be a kind of resistance. What you saw that happened in Anambra State when Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in, visited, when those explosions was a direct signal that
there was explosion in Imo State. It's like you read my mind when you went back to Anambra and the visitation of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to Anambra recently. In my own candid opinion, I just thought Tinubu is just buying a politician, but he didn't buy the conscience of Igbo people. And I said it that Tinubu has been deceived with that chieftaincy title. If he think that he will want to rely on the southeast to confront the north, then he has missed it. Am I right? Do you think people of southeast will son Obi to vote for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Normally, if we can tell ourselves the truth, it was not thought of the southwest anyway. But the north still feel that Igbo still have reservation against Nigeria. You know, the fear of resurfacing the Biafra story,
retaliation,
the fear of bringing back the Aburi Accord, the fear of decentralizing Nigeria into regionalism, the fear of losing their oil licenses, the fear of everything, the fear of Igbo, well, I won't say it's the beginning of wisdom in Nigeria, So these are the things the North we are looking at deeply, before they went and convinced Buhari, say, Buhari, no, we can't do this, we can't follow you on this, let's have Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But unfortunately, I will say that at this point in time now, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is another Maradona in the North, because from the way the Northerners are seeing it, it looks as if, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if they are not careful, Bola will dribble all of them and score the goal. That's the fact. So they are already looking at, because if you see what is happening, and the guy is dumping, that's why everybody is on his government is being taxed. Every citizen is being taxed. Those money is being transferred as political, weapon to return him to 2027. That's what Nigerians must understand very clearly. So the Igbo quest, the seeking alliance with the Igbo, we have to do with the Igbo entire consciousness, and of course